Hello everyone, this is Jessica's son with On a Stack of Books, and I am going to do a fun little paper project that I have been wanting to do for a while. I've been saving cereal boxes for, some reason, and I really wanted to make a scrapbook, maybe a cookbook, maybe, a journal book, but using the cereal boxes. My kids had this. I didn't eat this as a kid, but I do love the nostalgia of, the advertising and the cereal boxes. So I started to take this part off a little bit, and it wasn't coming off super easy, but I want to save this as sort of a bookmark, if you will. And then this will be, but I am going to trim this because I don't think I want the book that big. And then we can bind it and add everything inside. So right now I'm just going to start trimming, and then I will come back with the size that I think we're going to start with. So I'm really debating on how big to make this, and I've just kind of come to the conclusion that I can always cut more off. I don't want to cut off too much at first, and I can come back and if it's just too big. Ooh, blade doesn't like that. Okay. So again, I'm going to be conservative and, what is happening? Okay, it's just not real happy going in that direction. There we go. And so, just a very standard book size, if you will, but I was contemplating going about there. I'm not sure yet, so I'm still... So let's start pulling together some of the inside pages, and then that will help determine the size, I think. Okay, so made a little progress. These are going to be, the two packets, and I just chose some very happy, colorful paper because it's sort of, childlike, reminiscent of cereal boxes, and I did have one page in each of these bundles that is double-sided. I'm using old envelopes that I, don't want to show you the other side, but I'm going to use those as pockets for the recipe cards. And then this one is also the gingham, and thought that was very cookbooky. We've got some cute paper, some cute double-sided here, and then some more. It looks like a tablecloth to me. So I'm going to use this, but then I wanted to include a storybook that was about food in some way, or cooking or something. We have this in hardback cover, and so I am going to lovingly take this apart and include it in the pages so that we still kind of stick with that nostalgia. But so I will put that together and kind of decide on sizing, and then come back. So quick thought as I started to take this apart, I'm just, it's just stapled. It's just a really thin book. I think I'm going to use the different size pages to sort of work into this. I don't think that I'm going to make the entire book this size. I'm just going to have this in as a fun little addition. But let's see how it goes as I take it apart, because I'm not really sure again. So I think what we'll do is we'll kind of see how many pages pages we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. So we'll do 4 and 4. So I'm just going to separate that, and this will be one bound, and then this will be another bound. So it'll really be like that. And I am going to stitch them in. I did mark, I don't know if you can see very lightly, because of the envelopes, I'm going to stagger them, and I am going to do 4 holes to stitch through. So I do need to trim this paper a little bit, but I'm still kind of playing with it. But this is going to be the general idea. So I will be back when they're a little bit more trimmed. So I decided, instead of trying to cover up the old addresses on here, I just made the envelopes double-sided. So it's 2 envelopes together. And so I have this really adorable mixing bowl kitchen inspired washi tape that I thought would be super cute, but it's very narrow and you can't really tell that it is what it is. So I have wider washi tape that is Christmas llamas. But I do think I'm going to give this to my daughter. She loves to cook, she loves llamas, and I don't think that you're really going to be able to see what this washi tape is. She'll know. And so then once I do all of the envelopes, I'm going to put them back in here, and then I'm going to go through and show you some of the order that it's in, and then before I make things permanent. So I will be back with all of the envelopes done. Okay, so we are getting closer. There's a lot of steps, but now I feel like I can fully go through each page and show. I was going to add these cute little kitchen tags, all different stuff, but of course it didn't work on all of them, but some of them I will still add just because they're cute and adorable. I haven't decided. Some of these pages I have folded. I'll show you as we get closer. Some of them I've trimmed, and then I may still have to trim some more as I go. But here's our cute little envelopes, and then the pages, an envelope for each page. So this is where I folded to make it fit because the illustration was really cute, or there was words and I didn't want to cut it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this to here, and then this is going to be like a little pocket, and I'm going to put a tag down in there. For either journaling or for recipes or something, but this is going to end up being a tag, and it's just going to flip, and you're never going to see that seam in there. So I am going to glue that down, and then these other pages I may just leave blank for photographs, for writing, for drawing, if she wants to sketch an idea out for a recipe, you know, and I may add stuff later. But so here's our pockets for recipe cards. This one I actually glued. So here is our, I didn't glue the bottom yet, but I will get a tag and I will stick that in there. And so we're still going through our story. We've got our pocket for recipe, and some of these, like I said, I may still need to trim them. I don't care that they're bigger than the scrapbook pages, but they need to not be sticking out too far. And so that's the first bundle. The second bundle, again, I've got these little tuck-ins, or however you want to call them, but I just folded the paper and then I'm just hiding the fold. Blank pages, pockets for recipe cards. So the recipe cards are going to slide in like this. I have this stamp that I am thinking I'm going to use. It's the same size as that, and I have, you know, tons of cardstock, and so I'm thinking just for uniformity, but that's going to be a lot of stamping, so we'll see how it goes. I may stamp like 4 to a page and then cheat and print them out. It just depends, because I don't want it to be smeary. I want it to be actually usable. So I want a nice recipe card. So especially for a 10-year-old. So that's how the recipe cards are going to be poking out like that. Our story continues. Recipe cards, little tuck in here, and more. So there is some, you'll see the pattern that I did basically. I kind of kept to a certain pattern. We've got recipe cards, the story. This is sort of cute because it's like blank almost, and she could add to that if she wanted to. She likes to color. And then he'll want to sign his name. She could, you know, again, get creative, put her name or whatever. Here is the end of our book. So once I glue all those little tuck-ins, these little guys, then I will line up my envelopes and make sure that I have them all placed exactly where the stitching holes are going to be. And I will go ahead and make those holes and stitch them so that, you know, we can finally get that solid book bound, and then trim anything here that I need. Then we can embellish, and it's all super fun at that point. I am also, next thing before, I'll need to do the inside, and I'll do like pockets and everything. So I will glue those, I will do the inside, and then I may stitch with you just to show you how I'm doing it. I've done several homemade scrapbooks, and I've done them so many different ways. I have literally sewed them on my sewing machine. I've hand stitched them. I've rigged them in different ways that, you know, weren't necessarily the best, but was just playing with ideas. So I will do the stitching just so you can see how I do it. But I've done it a lot of different ways, some good, some bad. So I will be back. Okay, so I am going to mark our holes, because I think what I am going to do is I'm going to show you in just a second. Oh my goodness, I'm sweating, which is not the best time to be doing this, so I'm sticking to that. Okay, and so then I'm going to bring this over. I'm just lining it up. It is like obviously not exact. I did not measure. As far as inches apart, I measured based on where the envelopes fell, and that was how sticking to me. Okay. So what I decided to do, I'm gonna punch those holes through, but what I decided to do is on the inside, I had another Fruity Pebbles box, and I decided I'm gonna use the inside as a reverse cover. These are going to be pockets. I'm going to put some nice, you know, complimentary paper behind this, and then what I want to do is sew the pages, or sew the whole cover, so on my sewing machine, so with the paper down, and sew along this edge and down here, not on the spine, but then sew here and continue up with the paper. And then I think having this double will, you know, reinforce the spine a little bit, give it a little bit more stability, but then it just kind of gives it a little bit of continuity and keeps with the Fruity Pebbles. I thought about using a different cereal box, but then I was like, nah. So this will be a pocket for whatever. So I'm gonna sew this. Well, first I'm gonna punch the holes through, and then I'm gonna sew it, and then be back. Okay, so I did sew the edge, and what I did is I had these scraps that I had cut off from these pages, the tall pages, and I just folded them in half, and that's what I used. I folded them half long ways to make an edge along here. And so I only sewed on the inside. I just put some really plain paper on there, and just to kind of finish this so that there is a pocket here. It's sturdy. We've got another pocket here, because this is where I'm gonna do the sewing, the binding for the you know, the word escapes me. You know what I'm trying to say. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I did that part. So now I'm gonna punch the holes through. I did one side, so I'm gonna do the other one through here so that I can get this at least bound and somewhat finished to where we can get to the embellishments and all the fun stuff. Okay, so this part is going to be quite tedious, and I think that for the sake of everyone, I'm going to make this into 2 videos. So I'm gonna make all the holes so that it lines up with the spine, and have that ready to go so that we can put it in. I'm also going to make a double-sided bookmark with this, maybe attach it with ribbon so that it can stay attached and kind of hold a place or something just for fun, or it could be tucked in here. I'm not really sure, but I think I'm gonna make that the second part. So we got a lot done, and stay tuned for the binding part and the finishing part. Thank you for watching. Hello, this is Jessica Sun with On a Stack of Books, and this is the second video to our cute little, it's going to be a cookbook. It's going to be a cookbook for my daughter. I know in the last video I said that I was going to stitch with you. This is sort of like a helter-skelter like looking thing, but it was such a pain to stitch that I did it sitting on my bed, and you know, that just seemed a little bit more comfortable. But you know, it was the 2 sections. I stitched them in the center. You know, it was just a very basic. I had 4 holes, so I put that in there. What I did end up decide to do is stamp the recipe cards, and I'm using old cereal boxes and food boxes for the cardstock, and those are going in the pockets. And then here's one of our long ones with the tags. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish stamping all of these because I still have a bunch to do. I did probably like 6, but I have a bunch. I need to seal the bottom of any of these long ones. I already showed my daughter and told her that this was going to be a book for her, and she was quite excited. And I even have, I forgot to bring it out here, but it's a tag that would fit down in here that my mom had written the recipe for a crumble top for a muffin, and the other side was a cereal box Raisin Bran recipe for bran muffins, and it's in her handwriting, and I just thought that was like so perfect and cute, and we could add it in and it would fit in here. It's longer than this, but we might be able to make it fit. So I'm gonna seal these up. I'm gonna finish stamping, and then I'll double check everything. But she had requested that I like put cookies or something on here because it's from the story If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, and I told her you can do that. Not taking any special requests. So she's very artistic. She can draw some cookies and put that there. But this was also a recipe on the back of a cereal box. So just as I find them, I was gonna add some here and there. And maybe have the recipe part sticking out. But so I shall return. Okay, so I stamped a whole big stack. Yeah, quite a few. So we'll put those in as we go through. And I got the little recipe that my mom wrote down on the back of a Raisin Bran cereal box. So I thought that was so perfect. And we will tuck that in here. So each one of these is gonna have the recipe card on the front, and there's a pocket in the back because we made them double-sided. And then I did add some fun little on top of the envelopes, just not on all of them, but on some of them. So we'll go through. I ended up just doing some washi tape at the bottom because I don't know that we really have to glue it. It's not like anything in there is going to fall out per se, but so we've got that. So I'm going to take this tag out sort of a placeholder. And then we've got that little guy. Oh, he fits perfect. That fits perfectly. He's not too far. Okay. So we're going through. So this one here I may still glue down. I'm not sure. So let's take our little recipe cards. We'll tuck in here and here. We can stick this guy back in this one. I may, let's get baking. That's cute. Or I've got one on each side. So maybe I'll wait and figure out where to put those. So the funny thing is I was actually surprised that my daughter read through the story and was really like, oh, I remember this story, it's so cute, and she really wanted to read it, because I was kind of quickly going through it, and she's like, no, I want to read the story. So that was cute. And so we've got recipe card, and we've got the little cute tag here. I sugarcoat everything. So we've got recipe card. I don't know that I will do these stamps again, because that was a lot of stamping. But I like the idea of using the food boxes. They're like the perfect cardstock consistency. They're thick enough, but they're not too thick. But I may be tempted to just do one and copy it, because it would just be so much easier. But we'll see. So I got that there. Move on to the next one. I hope I stamped enough. I just grabbed some. Didn't really count. So here's another. So I'll add, and then some of this stuff, like I may add this, where, you know, the Home Chef Cookbook with Chef Judy, and they're just like funny little tips for cooking, but they're sort of like throwback retro, but yeah, they're just funny. So may tuck those in there just for her to kind of discover and laugh about. This was on the back of one of the cereal boxes, and I'm gonna cut these out because they're fun little facts about strawberries and bananas, and I thought we could sprinkle those through too. That was just cute. So right now I think I will tuck this guy in here, and then the back is like old ovens, which is super cute. Okay, oh, this was one of the other, I was just using that to hold a spot, but I'm gonna keep with these. Recipe cards. So on this side, I've got the little, you know, home cooking, so I'll add a little tag in there. Let's see, here's one. And she does make up recipes. But I was even thinking of going through and finding some of those, you know, little, when you're in the grocery store line and they're like little magazines that have recipes, and maybe taking out some and inserting here and there. Or I may have her do that and just kind of let her add what she wants. And ultimately hand it over so that she can do what she pleases. Like that. Okay, I think we actually, woohoo, I actually stamped enough and 2 extra. How fancy that. Okay. So we've got, and I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna do anything more to this. You know, I could put some fabric or a piece of paper to cover that, to secure it further. maybe I will, because, you know, she might be a little rough on it. But basically, we've got, you know, this plenty of room for her to write and record all of her little creations and recipes. And it's just fun. It's nostalgic. I enjoy making it. I will enjoy watching her use it. So maybe I'll get a picture of her with it. But I think that's basically going to be it. I'll see how rough she is with it. I may reinforce that, but for the most part, I'm going to call it done. So, yay. I like finishing things. So, thank you for watching, and I have several other cereal boxes that are sort of like seasonal. You know, it was like Elf on a Shelf Christmas cereal, and I definitely want to get some of the Halloween ones that, you know, they just come out seasonally, because those are really fun, and I think that would be cute. So I'll probably make one or two more. I'm not really sure, but I think I'm leaning towards the seasonal ones, and then the other ones will be filler part recipe card backs. So, okay, thank you for watching. Bye.